All right, y'all, we're going to take a look at this boudoir photography business today. Going to take a look at its, high intent Google searches that boudoir buyers are searching. See if it has BSS and see if we're meeting the GBC recommended minimum of hitting 3 out of 10 page one Google slots. So we're back here in the GBC universe. We're taking declining boudoir photographers to the #1 boudoir photographer in their city. As always, our North Star is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. More on that, the home video, pinned video, somewhere around here. And this is because FSIC explains why all boudoir photographers either rise or fall. So we got our FSIC picture here in white. Over on the left, the highest intent peeps, that's social search, that's Google search, searching, boudoir photo shoot in their city right now. And we talk about that here when we talk about BSS. And over on the right, that's the lowest intent peeps. People that ain't searching for that right now most often have no idea what the heck boudoir even is. So we actually have to reach them via interruption ads on Facebook and Instagram. Talk about that over on our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, where we currently only work with boudoir photographers running more than 10 grand a month in boudoir Facebook ads, and where we talk about BLCS over there. So BSS is boudoir search sameness. That is when a boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 on Google. And having 0 slots, our business is dying a fast death because 0 slots page 1 means we're on page 2 or deeper. And as a result, we are invisible to approximately 80% of the market. 80% of, we know that approximately 80% of Google searches never even hit page 2. So we're done a fast death there. Page 1 Google search, not good either. We're looking the same as everyone. The other 9 boudoir photographers, they'll be there each with one link. So we're essentially invisible there as well. And 0-1 slots of page 1 Google is not normal. It's actually a symptom of 2 deeper root causes. And those 2 deeper root causes are market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, basically everyone knows that. Someone's getting a new iPhone, new camera gear. Just over time, more people enter the marketplace. They throw up their Google My Business profile saying that for boudoir photo shoots. They are throwing up, basically they're throwing up their website saying they now do boudoir photography. They're posting the mom groups that they now offer boudoir. And as a result, more boudoir photography sellers, same number of buyers, harder for every single boudoir photographer. Next, something that's not previously known was the false belief of page 1 equality. This is where boudoir photographers kind of accepted, kind of without thinking about it, that every boudoir photographer gets either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google, and that's simply, simply how it is. And as a result, they are, kind of maybe they're slot 8 on page 1, then some market saturation happened. Now they're slot 2 on page 2. They're kind of like, oh, well, that's simply how it is. Hopefully, those people delete their websites and Google stops indexing them and ranking them. So maybe Google will pull me back up onto page 1. So this is 100% incorrect. We've actually discovered Google will give us as many page 1 slots as we want to acquire. And as a result, as we want to put in the effort to acquire. And we discovered this with our new methodology where I was able to go from 0 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search to 9 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google search. And we were actually able to do that all in 10 days. So we'll see those results in like 2 more pictures here. We also know that boudoir photographer with BSS is a disappearing boudoir photographer. And it's kind of the first warning light, the canary in the coal mine, that that our boudoir photography business is on the path to disappearing as well. But what we've discovered is BSS is treated with social search saturation SQ methodology. We discovered this because we invented it. And it works exactly as it says, social search saturation. We saturate social search with the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in our city, so we show up there. This is kind of like the snow at the top of the Andes Mountains down in South America on the eastern side, the backside. And what happens to that snow is it melts into small streams, small rivers, and it actually all flows down, flows together into the Amazon River. The Amazon River is page 1 on Google. So it all starts with saturating social search, which then allows it to flow into page 1 on Google. And what's interesting is this is the only solution I've seen for boudoir photographers that can successfully compete against market saturation in a relatively quick time frame. So still allow business to grow in a relatively quick time frame without ever, without taking a long time. The second option is actually building a large, well-known brand. Dude, that takes 5 to 10 years. We ain't got 5 to 10 years. We got AI here taking everyone's jobs. We need results faster, way faster in 5 to 10 years. And so brand is off the table for right now at this time. And something interesting about SQ methodology is I actually believe my estimates is it can actually help build a brand, large, well-known brand, approximately 8x faster than standard methods, because we're on so many surfaces, so many times, and actually kind of utilizing the mere exposure effect for our benefit here. So here's an example of fighting back against the market saturation with SQ methodology. Let's say we are let's say we are in Memphis, Tennessee. There's 1 million boudoir photographers. We're one of them. And as a result, everyone's got their website saying they do boudoir photography. Everyone's trying to rank page 1 on Google. So ultra competitive, and realize, man, we ain't got no brand. We got to really fight. Like literally, SQ methodology is the only solution out there that can help us with this. So we start using it, and we actually crank it up like maximum. And let's say that gives us the first 300 slots page 1, or first 300 slots social search against all of the against all of the on all the social networks. That, let's say that flows onto Google, and we get the first 300 organic slots on Google as well. So it's like 10 slots per page, and 10 slots per page means we're taking up basically the first 30 pages of Google search. So we got everywhere boudoir buyer looks, social search, Google search, basically all in one they can find. So whose business is going to be growing? Obviously ours. For the all-in-one peeps can be fine, and whose business is going to be dying, disappearing, going away? Obviously every other, with our 999,999 boudoir photography competitors in our marketplace. And as a result, we actually, it's kind of the only option for us that gives us a chance to keep growing. So that's what's special about SQ methodology. Now, once you're with SQ methodology, we have page 1 visibility. Initial benefit, obviously, more page 1 links to Google search. And we've got this new secondary benefit where every new link we get page 1 Google search, we're actually kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page 1, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of searchers that are never even reached page 2. They're page 1 searchers only, which means making them visible to the bulk of the marketplace. So a lot of boudoir photographers say they actually like this benefit the most. And page 1 visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us. So the GBC universe has a recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. And that's a recommended minimum because basically everyone else is going to have 1 slot, so we're going to be dominating them on page 1. In the ultra rare case, someone has 2 slots. Well, our 3 slots are also going to be dominating them. So we're basically covering all scenarios by having 3 out of 10. Finally, we know that a boudoir photographer with BSV is a visible boudoir photographer. So this is our micro universe here. A disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by the dual horns of market saturation and the false belief of page 1 equality. that's fine. Simply search. Well, we'll simply use our SQ methodology social search saturation. And that gives us page one visibility, turns us into a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility. Now onto my results using SQ methodology. I wanted to rank for this keyword BLCS boudoir. So I already knew that SQ methodology was the number one, basically the number one option for me to do this. And let's go to the organic slots to see my results. So let's see what I got here. So I got organic slot 1, Instagram, me. Slot 2, me. Slot 3, me. Slot 4, me. Slot 5, me. Slot 6, me. Slot 7, me. Slot 8, me. Slot 10, me. So I went from 0 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search, to 9 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search in only 10 days, purely by using S-cubed methodology. No website even needed. Now onto the main event here. Going to see this boudoir photography business, see how the search is looking for their local and city search. Actually, they're both in this case. So if we got BSS, yes or no. So if we're in the GBC recommended minimum 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 on Google, or let's hit it, Bellingham, Washington. All right, so let's see what we got. Let's see. All right, so we do got one. Boom, we got one. All right, we got one. So we got 1 out of 10. And city's always the hardest one to rank for. So we got 1 out of 10, that's good. But we got BSS, we got Boudoir Search Sameness. We also got, we're not hitting the GBC recommended amount of 3 out of 10 page 1 slots on Google. So if you're a disappearing boudoir photographer and you've actually gone and done the local search for the highest intent keywords for your locale, and you've also done it for your city, and you've seen that you got at least one of those has BSS, or you see that at least one you are not hitting the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots page 1 on Google, then you're seeing this SQ methodology like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for. Maybe you had been thinking, how can we get more slots on page 1 on Google? So maybe you'd already broken through the false belief of page 1 quality, but now you're like, yes, SQ methodology, that's what I've been looking for. Even though you kind of didn't know what to expect or what it would look like, but you decided, yes, SQ methodology is your way to move forward. So you're like, heck yeah. And you're also understanding the initial benefits of it. More slots page 1. The 2 initial benefits: more slots page 1 on Google, kick in more competing with web photographers off page 1, off to page 2, effectively making them invisible to approximately 80% of the marketplace. And you understand the 2 prongs of market saturation. Getting new iPhone or getting new camera, so getting new gear, and you're looking ahead and you're saying, well, you understand AI is going to be taking a ton of people's jobs. So you're like, okay, that is actually going to be the biggest flood, the biggest force of more boudoir photographers into the marketplace, or people who are even those who are new to boudoir photography, going to compress margins for everyone, lower prices for everyone, going to basically force more competition, page 1 Google search. And so you're saying, all right, I actually need to not only get this many links on page 1, you also need to fortify your position right now in preparation for all the new boudoir photographers coming into the market after AI starts taking more and more people's jobs every single day. And you're seeing SQ methodology is also a perfect thing for that as well. It's kind of like building the levees in Nolens, Louisiana, where that city is below sea level. And so once that happens, you're like, or once you're basically seeing the future right now. So you're like, the more links, momentum you can build up to get page 1 links on Google, the higher chance that the new boudoir photographers never even reach page 1, never even reach the links, on Google page 1. And so when you, so you're seeing that, and SQ methodology is the way forward, and you want to increase the You want to achieve page one visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you know you need those things in order to become #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you also understand kind of the long-term back-end benefits of successfully executing this S-cubed methodology every single day. And these successful benefits are, basically you're building up kind of these columns, these mindshare columns of peeps who are, kind of these invisible thematic keyword columns that actually, they're kind of like invisible. They're columns attached to, like, the Parthenon in Athens are kind of like invisible columns, like hubs, hub and spoke model. So like spokes onto a hub. And these things exist kind of like as AI mindshare. So you understand the future benefits, which is actually the more we successfully execute methodology, the higher probability we're going to be sort of appear AI overview on AI search. And so the probability kind of builds and builds and builds every single day that we do successfully execute methodology. And also the same goes for backend search. Like AI search, like ChatGPT search, like we got Perplexity, Claude, we got Microsoft Copilot search, Google Gemini search, and you're seeing other feature benefits as we're successfully executing SQ methodology actually increase the probability we get a list on AI search for all those as well. So I know last time I searched for boudoir photographers in a city, ChatGPT, it literally recommended 3. And I actually went to go on Google for myself to look at, okay, how many are actually going to be, are actually out here. Dude, there's like 60, like Google Maps and Google Search all combined. And so I was like, all right, we got to do something to really increase the probability that we're increasing search here, that we get on these. Because I know I don't standard Google search anything. I'm always using the Google AI overview. And so I know, yeah, standard Google search is still like approximately 90% of all searches, all the search market globally. But dude, AI search getting bigger and bigger every day. So you're seeing that, and you want to actually get kind of those bonuses, those momentum of being shown in the increase the probability get shown in these searches. And as a result, you also understand that you decide to hop on this first because you'll be actually be able to build a ton of momentum and separate yourself from all your competitors. Because I basically my plan currently is to only work with one boudoir photographer in each city. So you're seeing you can kind of close off your competitors from using this and put a massive gap between you and them before they even know what's going on, before they even know we've put in the effort to completely dominate page one Google search. And conversely, you're seeing that if one of your competitors actually, if one of your competitors actually hops on this first and works with me, well, then you'd have to rederive SQ methodology on your own correctly. And when you do that, you would never be 100% confident if you did it, derived it correct or not. And what would actually happen is you'd have to equal our execution. And when you equal our execution, you would simply be maintaining the gap me and your competitor would have already built up, kind of above you or ahead of you. So you'd maintain that gap. You'd actually have to double or triple our daily output of execution of SQ methodology to close that gap, kind of pull that AI mindshare brain momentum for those invisible thematic keyword columns away from your competitor and me and back towards yourself. And so it's like, dude, who's got the 80 hours in a day to do all that? So you decide, screw that. You're going to be the #1 first mover in your city. Lock the other peeps out. And so if that's you, shoot me a DM. My hospital is currently closed for new patient intake right now. So my DMs are currently closed. But when I do open up the hospital for new patient intake, then shoot me a DM and we'll see if you qualify to utilize our S-cubed methodology.